Hey there, welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. I'm the mom and I do the movie reviews. And my goal is to save you time and money by giving you the scoop on filmmaking quality and content. So you can decide whether or not you want to spend time or money or both sometimes watching a particular film. So today, the movie I'm reviewing is called Autumn and the Black Jaguar. Now, the animal, not the car. This lovely film premieres in theaters on January 17th, 2025. The film is rated PG. It's an hour and 40 minutes, and my overall movie review mom grade is a B+. I thought it was really sweet and is perfect for family viewing. So first I'm going to give you an overview in a nutshell, and then I'll point out things I like, things I didn't like. I'll offer tips for parents, themes worth talking about if you watch this with others, funny lines, interesting lines, and then we'll finish up with recommendations for other films that are sort of similar that you might also like, especially if you like this one or vice versa. All right, so in a nutshell, the story is about the incredible bond formed between a girl and a wild jaguar cub when they were both living in the Amazon rainforest and when they were both very young. She and her father have to return home to New York City. However, her childhood village in the jungle is under threat, and she decides to go back to the Amazon to save them and find her beloved jaguar. The film was directed by Gilles de Maistre. Hopefully, I pronounced that correctly. Writing credits go to his wife, Prune de Maistre. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct either. He describes this film as, quote, a new kind of cinema. He stated that all of his movies have spoken out against injustice, inequalities, oppression, and crime. And I'm going to tell you about some of his other movies. In fact, those are going to be some that I recommend for you in just a few minutes. The film does the same, focusing on protecting animals. His desire is to speak on families in a poetic way, not lecturing them. The film is described as a spiritual remake of the film Mia and the White Lion. So here are some quick tips for parents. Adults drink alcohol. We see a live, huge tarantula, blah. We see a nude pregnant belly on an Indian woman. Teenagers speak some profanity. Some Spanish is spoken without subtitles. Talk of a woman who got killed by an animal trafficker. And the main girl, Autumn, puts herself in a very dangerous situation with a wild animal. So some of the themes that are illustrated very well are environmentalism, animal activism, destruction and deforestation of the Amazon, trusting your wings in a metaphorical way, poaching and trapping animals, taking action, parenting and family, and our effects on the natural world. So here's a list of many things that I really liked about this film. First of all, it's really fun to see a black jaguar like the one featured in the movie. It makes you wish that you could cuddle with it like the main character in the movie does. Lumi Pollock plays the strong-willed and feisty teenager with a heart of gold for for animals, and she does a really good job. Emily Bett Rickards offers the comic relief as the overly anxious biology teacher. She does a good job too. We see a lot of character growth among those two main characters. They're also able to learn to appreciate the unique strengths of one another. Absolutely gorgeous cinematography by Olivier Laberge. We get to see lots of wild animals in the jungle. And they used two jaguars in the filming. They were rescued from Mexican breeders. The animal trade, unfortunately, is legal right now in Mexico. Before filming, they spent a year imprinting the cubs with Aram, the actress who plays the young Autumn in the story. After filming, both jaguars were taken to a wildlife sanctuary. Fun fact, that's kind of cool. The animal coordinator spent a year living with the cubs before filming, and the filming was shot in Mexico. Did you know that only 15,000 jaguars are left in the wild in the world? That seems like a really low number. Since you can't take jaguars anywhere, the crew had to build a fake river and canopy over the Amazon. They also used green screens, but trying to rely more on practical effects, which I always really appreciate. The people in the village chant in Spanish, "A united village will not be overcome," but they say that in Spanish. Keep watching while the final credits roll for another scene that shows the continuation of the story. Now, onto the list of things that I didn't like or just thought could have been done better or differently. For example, the premise is based on the idea that a high school teacher would spontaneously abandon her class of students and race to an airport to purchase international airplane tickets to the jungle to stop one of her students from making a mistake. Now, that's quite a premise, right? But you got to have a story somewhere. The female villain says such absurd things. You're going to say, really? Why you watch this movie? And as I mentioned, we see a massive tarantula, which blah. There are some unrealistic things like the fact that a cell phone has worked for days in the jungle without needing a charge. Now, there are some funny lines and interesting lines, and I have them all in my written review at moviereviewmom.com. I feel like I'm losing my voice right now. Anyway, one of the funny lines is when Autumn, who's played by Lumi Pollock, looks at her teacher, who she has just disregarded as being dumb and, all of that. And at the end, she says, "You are Wonder Woman." And again, I like that character arc where we see that she appreciates her teacher in new ways and how her teacher sees her in new eyes as well. Some of the interesting lines are first spoken by Lumi Pollock, and she says, "It's not in my head, it's in my heart." And we learn a lot about heart and head in the film in several different ways. And then Autumn, the main character, also says, "You know all that, and yet you do nothing about it." And I like that line, that it is not just about knowing what's right, but doing what's right as well. Anya, who is played by Emily Bett Rickard, says, "Humans did not weave the web of life. We are a mere thread in that web. Whatever we do in the web, we do to ourselves." And I love that line because it speaks to how what we do as humans absolutely affects nature. We're one and the same. And then another line is spoken by Wayne Charles Baker, who tells her, "Don't listen to your fears. Go." Fears hold all of us back in so many ways, and we definitely see this brave young woman just going for it. And then another line that the same character says is, "You have the power to change your destiny. Don't be afraid." Again, echoing that theme of fear. And then another final line is also spoken by Emily Bett Rickards, who says, "Never abandon your ideals. Nothing is impossible." Because oftentimes our head gets in the way and we think, no, we can't do that. That's too hard. That's impossible. It's only impossible until somebody does it, right? All right, so I wanted to recommend some movies that are kind of similar that you might also really like. The first one is also directed by the same director, Gilles de Maistre, in 2022. It's called The Wolf and the Lion. And I did a movie review of that. And in fact, I'm going to cue that one up to play right after you finish watching this review. Another movie is called For the Animals. I also did a review of that one. And then the last one is The Lion King. Now, that's all about lions. And so I think that you'll appreciate that movie, even though it's not about panthers or leopards, but just that lion world. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope that this movie helps you to better understand or gain a better appreciation and your expectations for what to expect in this movie. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. If you do, comment down below and let me know what you think. Have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.